Florida, in its loudest, most monetized form, is easy to summarize. Roller coasters, frozen daiquiris, and marketing schemes dressed up as destinations. But peel back the overpriced experiences and you'll find something radical. Museums so odd, so hyper-focused, so defiantly earnest, they remind you that Florida hasn't been entirely paved over just yet. These are not amusement parks with gift shops. These are sanctuaries devoted to the beauty of shells, malfunctioning utopias, and the origins of central air. They are shrines to obsession, preservation, and unprofitable curiosity. They don't chase trends, they preserve stories. The only accredited museum in America dedicated to mollusks can be found in Sanibel. Post-Hurricane Ian, this institution rose from the floodwaters with new exhibits, live marine tanks, and a giant Pacific octopus so intelligent it puts half the state legislature to shame. What looks like a coastal curiosity shop is actually a scientific stronghold. It's education masquerading as fascination. It's Florida unsimplified. You walk in for the shells, you leave thinking about the fragility of ecosystems and the arrogance of beachfront development. A utopian cult once believed we lived inside a hollow earth and built a community to prove it. Not metaphorically, literally inside it. Their art house, their printing press, their compound all still stand in Estero, preserved not in amber but under state maintenance. It's less a park than a cautionary tale with landscaping, a rare example of Florida preserving weirdness not because it sells, but because it happened. The eeriness is palpable. The questions it raises about belief, about vision, about who writes history are the reason it matters. Behind the facade of what I believe to be one of the finest art museums in America lies the Circus Museum, a red curtain phantasmagoria of train cars, calliopes, and a model circus so elaborate it borders on madness. This isn't nostalgia, it's pageantry weaponized, a monument to America's most chaotic cultural export, the traveling show. The Ringling legacy is not just elephants and glitter, it's a mirror of America's complicated relationship with spectacle. And if that doesn't satisfy your appetite for carnival lore, head south to Gibson's International Independent Showman's Museum, where sword swallowers have their own archives. A shrine to the Fab Four, the Beatles, built not by a corporation, but by collectors with purpose. Penny Lane is packed wall-to-wall with memorabilia, autographs, rare vinyl pressings, tour posters, fan club ephemera. Here you don't just walk through a timeline, you wade into the lives of four musicians who changed everything. And yes, the museum will be relocating to a larger space in downtown St. Petersburg in 2026. Housed in the opulent corpse of the Alcazar Hotel in downtown St. Augustine, the Lightner doesn't just display artifacts. It lets you experience what luxury once looked like when money was new and had no shame. The grand ballroom, the staircases, the Turkish bath, and the spa wing, still intact, still stunning. And that indoor swimming pool, it's now a cafe. You dine where Gilded Age elites once splashed. It's immersive, bizarre, and often breathtaking. This is living history, not embalmed trivia. Tiffany glass isn't just decoration, it's obsession, devotion, and in the hands of the Morse Museum, revelation. This unassuming building in Winter Park houses the world's most comprehensive collection of works by Louis Comfort Tiffany. Stained glass windows, mosaics, leaded lamps, blown glass, jewelry, and even the reconstructed chapel from the 1893 World's Exposition in Chicago. It's luminous, reverent, and unexpectedly powerful. You come expecting floral lamps, you leave confronting beauty as philosophy. In a state not known for subtlety, the Morse is restraint with backbone, a quiet cathedral of craftsmanship. This next one is adjacent to Ron John's surf shop in Cocoa Beach, but don't you dare mistake it for a souvenir annex. The Florida Surf Museum is a nonprofit, history-driven space documenting decades of surf culture. The boards, the legends, the hurricanes, the hometown contests that built Florida's salty reputation. It's unpretentious, informative, and just a little sandy. Less tourist bait, more love letter to the wave riders who turned a subculture into a Florida signature. The most important man in Florida history you've never heard of once called Apalachicola home. Dr. John Gorey invented mechanical refrigeration to fight yellow fever in the 1850s. In doing so, he made the concept of summer in Florida survivable. His replica ice machine lives here in a modest building by his tomb. Your next breath of cool air? You owe it to Gorey. The least you could do is visit, or better yet, thank him every time you step into a Publix and don't collapse from heat stroke. You walk in, the architecture bends, the clocks melt, your grip on reality wavers. Welcome to the Dali Museum, where one of the largest collections of Dali's work lives in a building that seems allergic to right angles. The exhibits are surreal, yes, but the real revelation is how rationally mad it all is. You don't get the Dali, you survive it, and you're better for the effort. This place doesn't just celebrate art, it stages a confrontation with the absurd, with the subconscious, with the beauty of imbalance. The Ernest Hemingway home in Key West is more than a tribute to the Pulitzer Prize-winning icon who drank, fought, and wrote his way into legend. It's also one of the most unique feline preserves in the country. Why? Because dozens of six-toed cats roam the grounds like they own the place, and frankly, they do. These polydactyl descendants of Hemingway's own beloved Snow White are not only tolerated, they're celebrated. They're fed, named, medically cared for, and left to nap anywhere they please, on couches, bookshelves, or the very typewriter desk where Hemingway once brooded over bullfights and broken hearts. Visitors come for the literary lore, but stay for the cats, who silently judge you with the gravitas of a Nobel Prize committee. This isn't just a museum, it's a cohabitation with the odd, enduring spirit of a man who once said, "A cat has absolute emotional honesty." Here, they also have the deed. For some of the places mentioned on this list, these are the museums no travel algorithm will recommend. They don't go viral, they go deep. They're weird, specific, hard to monetize, and for that very reason, essential. They're not theme park bait or roadside gags. They're memory vaults, obsession temples, time machines with thermostats. If you truly want to know the state, don't start with fireworks and animatronics. Start with a mollusk, a melting clock, and an air conditioner. And just for good measure, throw in a polydactyl or two. As always, thank you so much for watching. Be good to yourself.